Hey, y'all, I'm Shane Sams, the host of the Flip Lifestyle Podcast, and I've got a great show for you today. My guest is Andrew Biernat, a Flip Lifestyle community member from New York State. He runs a fitness business with his brother, and when the COVID pandemic hit, it really shut them down and almost put them out of business, took them out, guys, because they couldn't open their facility. And they turned to online memberships, online training to be able to make up that income, save their business, and now they've got an offline and an online component. I'm going to help Andrew today get over some fears and mindset issues when it comes to marketing and getting the word out there and being a prolific promoter of your business. We're going to talk about Andrew's business model, which is really neat because he has a charity component where they give some of the monthly recurring revenue to charities and things like that. So we're going to talk through that, how to make sure that you're not giving too much away and having to make sure that you got enough money to run the business and still keep growing and giving to those charities. We're also going to talk about how he's going to use the charity and that mission to really drive his community and take it to the next level. And we're also going to talk about creating a prolific annual schedule of promotions, something you can do month after month and year after year so you can get organized, you can go out and you can get new people to join your membership every single week. I had a great time talking to Andrew. We had an awesome conversation and we came up with a great business plan. I know you're going to get a lot out of it today. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. Welcome to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. It is great to be back with you again this week. Super excited to talk to another member of the Flipped Lifestyle community to help them take their online dream to the next level. I'm really, really super excited today to welcome Andrew Biernat to the show, man. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Shane? Good to meet with you.
We had to practice that one for a few minutes, guys. It's spelled not like that. So I had to work my Kentuckian accent through that one to make sure that I said Andrew's name right, man. But good to be here with you today, man. I can't wait to help you and your online business. Tell everybody a little bit more about you, though, man, like your background and what it is you're doing online.
Sure thing. So I went to school for business, graduated, got a sales job right out of college. And the company I was working for, I absolutely hated. I was miserable. And I ended up switching careers and became a personal trainer. So I worked with my brother. Actually, he had a business. And I changed my life in joining that business. I got in better shape. I got my mind in better shape and kind of straightened myself out too. And so I've been doing that for about 7, coming up on 8 years now. And so I've really mastered kind of the basics of training and really the advanced stuff as well. And this past year has been a huge challenge with COVID and shutdowns and all that going on. So we've been an exclusively in-person fitness studio up until this point. So we focused a bit on personal training, but mostly on group classes. And with shutdown and with numbers being reduced as far as the amount of people we can have in a class, it's just been just money straight off the bottom line. This is not there anymore. And with the initial hard shutdown, the business evaporated. There's no business at that point because it's all in person. So we had to really adapt quickly. And so we started creating online materials to serve our current clientele. And we've kind of grown that online library and way of service. And so now that we're back open with live training, we've still got that online arm where we're still able to train people remotely. So a good chunk of our clientele doesn't even want to come back to in-person training just yet. And we're able to reach those people as well as people that have heard about us from other states, from their friends, from other places, as well as whole new markets that we've never been able to tap into because we've been only local. And so right now we've got a membership site, and game plan is we need to grow that. And I'm kind of in charge of the growth of that. So that's pretty exciting.
So, yeah, man, I feel for you, dude. I mean, I feel so bad for in-person businesses because, I mean, this thing has just devastated the economy when it comes to restaurants, gym, anywhere where people congregate,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I've been saying this a lot. I just went through COVID myself, and it was a really bad experience. Our family got it, and I know how hard it is for business owners. I also know how hard it is. I would not want to be one of the people making decisions right now because it's a numbers game, and you've got to weigh all of these factors of livelihood versus lives, and But kudos to you guys for not going quietly into the night and saying, you know what, we're going to figure this out, and we're going to make something happen, because this will pass. We've got 2 vaccines coming down the pipe. There's a lot going on out there that it looks like if we can all just hunker down for 6-7 more months, and then at the end of it, like you said, wait, we now have a reach beyond our footprint. We can still do what we love, which is in-person training, but there are going to be a lot of scarred people who are scared even after this thing quells down that won't come back to that. But now you figured out this online version of what you do. So you have redundancy, you got extra revenue eventually, you've got all of these other things. Let me ask you some follow-up questions about your business model.
Yeah.
So is the online training live? Do they come and participate to a live class and there's like 20, 30 people logged in?
Nope.
Or is it all video content that you're recording, or is it kind of a hybrid?
It's all video content that we've recorded. So we've uploaded it to YouTube, but we made it unlisted, and we've then put it. And so basically what we do is we've got this kind of workout library, and then we curate certain videos for the week for them. We kind of put together an exercise plan, and then we kind of Frankenstein it together. So you got like a 20-minute strength video. If you got time for more,
I see.
Video, then there's some cardio. So we can kind of build a plan. And it's very flexible based on people's time availability.
Okay, that's interesting, because I've seen a lot of people in our community in the health and fitness niche. They went to live classes, and that's what they did. So they did like a membership. They were doing live classes each day, and then whatever. But you guys are actually like, if I sign up for this, you're like planning me a workout. Like, well, Shane, here's Shane's goals. He wants to get stronger. So maybe you put, hey, watch these 3 weightlifting videos this week and only 2 of these cardio videos or something like that. Like you're actually helping people structure these workout programs?
It's kind of a more general template.
I got you.
So everyone's kind of following the same plan, but they can go off plan if they want to. If they're like, hey, I'm tired of doing strength stuff, I feel like doing more cardio today, they're welcome to do that.
Awesome. And are most of the people that signed up for this your local people?
I would say probably 75% of the people, maybe 80% of the people we've previously worked with in person.
Gotcha. And they needed something at home because they're locked down just like the rest of everybody, basically.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So how much do you, I know the answer to this question, but how much do you tell everybody how much you charge for this online virtual training?
Sure. We charge $99 for it. And early on, when we first started this online stuff, we wanted to give back, because it felt like everything was going wrong. It felt like everything was blowing up and nothing was good. It's especially in March and stuff, but it seemed like such a dark time. And so we set it up so that 50% of revenue, so straight off the top of that $99, so $49.50 goes to charity. So straight off.
Okay. What are you donating that to? And
we change it every month.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our way of helping out different local charities in our area and some bigger charities as well.
That's really cool, man. That's amazing. I didn't want you to get off the air without telling people what you did there, because it has been a dark time. It's been hard. I mean, this has been a hard year for everybody. And, when just to hear people giving back like that, I mean, that's a big commitment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but it is awesome. I had a couple comments I wanted to make to you about the charity thing though. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's amazing, and I'm not saying don't do it. That's not what I'm saying. But I would also maybe revisit the nature of giving it from the gross, right? Because one of the things that I see in your form that you filled out is like, you feel like you're working more hours to make the same amount of money, right?
Sure. However, that things have actually changed a little bit since.
That's good. That's good. But like the problem with giving off of total, I see a lot of people do this with their business model, like giving the gross to charity. The
Mhm.
problem with that is it doesn't take into account expenses when they change or rise or anything like that. And it can actually hurt your ability to grow, which hurts your ability to give more of the actual money, right?
Mhm.
So it can actually hold you back from giving more money to charities when you feel like you're doing the 50%. And oh, that's cool. But if you had your margins better figured out there and maybe you're looking at your gross things, I'm talking 10% either direction here. I'm not talking whatever. But
Right.
if you think about it like, hey, let's make sure the business is growing so that the pot of charity gets bigger. It's just a better way to think of it, right? And I only say that because I've seen multiple business owners that I know with this similar model going out of business, and then the charity is not even there
Right.
because they didn't think of it. They thought, well, I don't want to give less than that, but you're not giving less aggregate, right?
Right.
And so really just think about that. Also, too, from a marketing standpoint, do you advertise this that you do this?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a kind of a part of the sales script and the sales page. So people know that not only are they helping themselves, but from day one, they're also helping the world around them become
That's
better too.
awesome. I think as you expand and you're giving to these local charities, it makes sense what you're doing, giving it away like to different groups, right?
Mhm.
But you might want to also, it's just like selling a product when you're selling a charity, basically. You got to
Mhm.
sell one thing at a time, right? It might be good now that you've done this for a while to really pick something to drive it home, like what you're doing. Because if you want, like, for example, if you expand out and let's say somebody in Pennsylvania joins, or
Mhm.
somebody in Kentucky joins, or somebody in whatever. I mean, it's cool that I'm giving part of that part of my money goes to a charity, but if it's all
If it's
local,
all local, yeah.
yeah. So that's gonna kind of, now that doesn't mean you can't expand locally, right? But if you could have a mission and don't think of it as a specific charity, like what's the point? Like, are we trying to feed people? So we're giving to food banks. Are we trying to whatever? Like, for example, like if you gave to food banks, it would be cool to say, hey, here's what we actually do. We want to make, food is a problem right now. The economy is in shambles. A lot of people are out of work. If we give to food banks, but what we actually do is we pick a member each month and we give to their local community's food bank. So
Mhm.
then it's like it doesn't matter where I am. We're all on the same mission. Not only am I getting healthy, but I'm helping other people stay healthy. But it's cool because now there's like this, it's not a gimmick, but it's like someone in your community is going to get the benefit. That's pretty cool. And then everyone gets to celebrate that. And you get to, and it's really easy to donate anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can do some of that stuff through Facebook. So then like there's a gamification and it gets, it's more of a mission than just hey, we give money away at that point,
Right.
right?
I agree.
So maybe as we expand this thing now, it's what we're going to talk about here in a second. Think deeper about the charity and say, well, wait, wouldn't we be able to give more money if we had 1,000 members? And then wouldn't it be cool if we could spread the footprint out around a mission and really decide what you ever seen the Bombas, the socks? You ever seen
Yeah.
those? Yeah, like Bombas. Every time you buy a pair of Bombas, they give a pair of Bombas to a homeless shelter. And they do it all over the world. They don't just do it one place. So it's like everybody knows what they're getting into, right? When they latch onto the mission, and it makes you more loyal that way. So,
Yeah. That
but
makes a lot of sense.
yeah, but I love it, dude. I love the charity thing. I just wanted to talk about that first because I think it'll flavor everything that we do going forward. Because as we grow, that part of that money is, definitely being directed into a good way. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what fears, mindset, or anything else are holding you guys back? We'll talk about some technical stuff too, but it sounds like you've got a good thing going. You've got some people paying. It's growing. What's holding you back right now from really taking this thing to the next level, doubling your membership?
The biggest thing for a while was time. And I kind of mentioned that in some of my initial commentary as I filled stuff out. And that's actually shifted. So I used to teach 4, 5 classes a day and train 2-ish people. So I'd have, call it 7 hours a day about booked up just with live stuff. And I've dialed back now. I'm now at like 2 to 2.5 classes a day and hardly any personal training. So I've got, maybe 20 total hours at most of live stuff per week. So I've gone all in as far as the online training, and my paycheck has dropped significantly, and I recognize though that the opportunity is there. This is expandable. This has plenty of room to grow, plenty of opportunity, and right now it's stable as far as the way that we're serving people. Like that's going really well, the service side and the online business, and now it's turning that service and putting it out there more, getting more marketing out there, getting more people into the membership, and creating systems to regularly get people in. And that's for our in-person business. That's always been our biggest weakness, is consistent market presence and consistent lead generation. That's always been like a big event, and then we pull in a bunch of people, and then things start to peter out, and we do a big thing again, and we get more people in. And so it's kind of always been this ebb and flow rather than this kind of consistent and steady marketing.
Okay. So is your brother focusing on the live stuff? Is that your business partner is your brother? Or you're actually, you work for him, correct?
I work for him, correct. Yeah. But we've okay. kind of split kind of a little bit further. Yeah. So he's going to be doing more live focused. I'm going to be doing more online focused.
Okay. So you want to talk about both? You want to talk about both a little bit? I love this hybrid, man. I love people who have income with one footprint on the real world and one footprint online. I think it's smart. I think it's a great way to diversify the same product, so where you don't have to do something different. You're just doing it online and off, But the events, like what are you talking about? Like New Year's and then something in the spring, like a marathon or something. And, you just do these big things. Yeah.
We'll do like a big open house, or we'll do like a free challenge or something, or we'll do like we'll bring in like 3 to 5 people, and we'll kind of bring them in for free, but we turn it into this like big community thing where people are kind of cheering for them to lose weight, and the winner gets like a year free basically.
How often do you do those things?
I would say at most quarterly. Maybe 3-ish times a year we'll do something big-ish, and then the rest of it's kind of just general content generation. But we haven't had a super focused and reliable means of creating consistency in that.
I ask that because usually when I talk to people who have already launched something and they've gotten it to work, right? Mm-hmm. The number one thing that happens, and there's some consistency to it. Like you're not trying this. You guys do this. This is your job. Like right. Whether it's online or off, like you guys are the personal trainer guys, and you're doing this and you're making it happen, right? Mm-hmm. The next step is always prolific. That word I throw around a lot and I use a lot, and sometimes I oversimplify it. But like I think of the year in our business as 52 weeks. And prolific to me means I am going to have a promotion every single one of those weeks. I am committed to that process. I don't care if it's Valentine's Day, I'm attaching something to Valentine's Day. If there's no holiday this week, I'm pulling up a 365-day random weird holidays, and I'll celebrate Balloon Day if I have to. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to think of some, and there's lots of cool tricks that you can do in marketing with pricing. Especially when you do something like what you guys do, which online or off, I assume it's basically a monthly is what we're looking at here, like a monthly membership, like a gym membership. So like you can be prolific by having a monthly deal, then you can have a quarterly deal, then you can have an annual sale, then you can have a fall, winter, spring sale. Like you can do all these things with your pricing that gives you flexibility. Like I technically could have a week where I push free trials, a week where I push a monthly discount, maybe with a bonus, or maybe it's a monthly price, but you get a bonus, like a video or something, right? Mm-hmm. I could do a quarterly deal for a week. I could do an annual deal for a week. I could do a lifetime deal for a week, or I could have another tier. So like you can rotate through these things. You don't got to reinvent the wheel. Like just every 5 weeks, you rotate through kind of pricing schemes, but you're attaching them to things that are happening in real people's life, right? Like, for example, what's your gym membership's capacity right now based on COVID rules?
So with in-person like class training, 16 is technically we could go to like 20.
So what's the percentage though?
Oh, 50%.
All right. Everybody knows this is happening. Hey guys, restaurants and everything else are 50% right now. We just thought, if it's going to be 50% capacity, we might as well have a 50% discount. So if you'll sign up for a 3-month plan right now, it's normally $99 a month, but we'll do it for $149 for a quarterly plan or something like a gimmick, right? Yeah. And what you're doing is you're trading commitment. They're committing to you to be able to join this online component or whatever. And it's a little bit harder with the offline because you got time for money situation, right? But what you can do is you can add the online with the offline so they get that too. And I'm just saying that's one example of getting top of mind and being prolific.
Right.
And I would guess if you and your brother sat down and just looked at the calendar and thought about fitness in your area based on weather and what's happening outside, what's happening inside, like you could easily sit down in a night over a pizza and just come up with 52 promotions. And if you just did that, if you just said every week we're going to do that, we're not just going to do this quarterly anymore. Every week we're going to have a new thing. And we'll constantly we'll constantly run Facebook ads locally. We'll constantly tell our audience, nationally, whatever. That's going to increase it. Becoming prolific is the next step in your business. And and I think you guys got the go-to to do it, man. You guys are hustlers, clearly. It's just strategy. It's just strategy, man. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you kind of mentioned earlier, what are some fears that you guys have? And I think probably a fear that we have is, as far as email lists, would be like alienating the list by like over promoting or something like that. And so I guess what insight do you have there?
So the email list is it's like tug of war is a bad word. It's like an ebb and flow. As how I view the email list. Now, you're probably on my list, and you've probably seen that I email a lot. I mean, I email at least 4 or 5 times a week, probably, to our list. Now, sometimes I'll segment and do things like that. You can protect your list through segmenting. Like, for example, Black Friday next week, we have one promotion that's going toward customers, and we have another promotion going toward non-customers. And it's all based on triggers. So, like, if you get the first couple emails, maybe everybody gets them. But if you clicked or opened one of the emails, you might go down a different rabbit hole with emails next week for Black Friday. So that's one thing you can do, is you can segment to protect your list. But another thing too is like use the list to build a relationship that leads to a promotion. I'm not saying promote every day. I said every week we've got something going on. So 3 of my emails, like for example, last week or 2 weeks ago when we first got COVID, I was sharing my journey to our email list of going through the sickness. I was just letting people know, hey, we're really sick, and the community is going to slow down, or we might miss a podcast, or I was just letting people know what was going on. And I was just trying to talk to our people and be a person and be like, hey, this is what we're going through in real life. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like you could say, like, man, these new restrictions are coming back, and it's kind of crazy that we are having to do this, but we're really believe in how we serve people, and we want to be there for you guys. And, you can just talk about what's happening in the gym. Like, hey, this is Sally. Sally joined our program a week ago or a month ago, and she lost 5 pounds, and we're just so proud of her. We got her permission to brag on her, right? Not all of your emails are promoting and selling. You're just having a relationship, a conversation that's consistent on a daily basis with your list. And then you have the promotion, right? Some promotions, some weeks, I'll just put it in the PS. It might be a mild promotion, like, what we're going on. But like maybe if it's like leading up to Valentine's Day, I'll PS the thing in my normal emails. I always put it in there, like, PS, we're having this Valentine's Day special, join 2 for 1 or something, Valentine's Day. And then like the last 48 hours of the promotion, I'll be heavy-handed, and I'll write sales copy. Like, you got 48 hours, you got 24 hours, the promotion's gone, So like that's how you got to kind of, it's the art, not the science. The science is, if I send an email, I have a chance to make money. If I don't, I don't. That's the math. But like the art of it is, how do you use your email list to make emails that people want to listen to and want to read and want to reply to? I love getting replies. If you're ever on my email list, hit reply. My team gets them to me, in a digest, basically. But like that's the art and science of it. But you all have great content, and you all got great success stories, and make Monday like Motivation Monday. Like, hey, every Monday I send you some motivation to get you working out this week, right? Maybe Tuesday's a success story. Maybe Wednesday is where you started promotion. Thursday you end the promotion. Friday you follow up with some good a good success story to inspire people. Take the weekend off. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? and you don't have to you don't have to sell every day. You just have to include a link to something for sale every day to leave those breadcrumbs. So does that make sense? Does that sound a little bit easier?
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, are you there? Did you freeze?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you. So that made sense? Everything good?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense.
Okay, cool. All right, so all right, let's imagine that fear is now gone, right?
Okay.
Because honestly, it should be. You should just say, I'm going to email every day, and I'm going to figure it out to figure out what happens when people leave the list. Okay, so where does that leave you now? Like, right? And let's assume you're going to meet with your brother and be like, bro, we got to have a promotion every week, online and off. We got to figure it out. How are we going to get people in both places every week? Marketing is now 25% of our conversation. So, like, where does that leave you now? Where are you stuck? What's the next step after that?
I guess next step after that would be allotting time each day to do that. Like how much time should I be putting into email versus serving in person versus serving my online community?
Yeah. I think that marketing should go first in everyone's life. Okay. If you have a business of any kind, like I get up every day and on my calendar is what email am I going to send? How am I going to get a new customer today is our first thing. That's our first thing we always think about. And then usually our day flows like this. How do we get our new customer? How do we serve our existing customer? How do we promote and create content? Right. Mm-hmm. So that's the last part. The back half of the day is more like strategically. So let me take today, for example. I'll take exactly what I did. Mm-hmm. Woke up, wrote an email. That email is designed for sales. Okay. So now I don't have to worry about the rest of the day. That's going to work for me the rest of the day. Then I got into the second phase of my day, so my day usually starts about 10 o'clock. I take about an hour, do my marketing, write an email, post some Facebook stuff, whatever. We had a watch party in the Facebook group today too. So that the second part of my day is serving people in our community. So we had a watch party of this week's podcast in our Facebook group. I jumped in there, chimed in, talked to members. This is I consider recording this podcast, serving our community, because I always take one member of the community each week and help them one-on-one, right, in their business. And now the next part of my journey through the day. So we'll get done talking here in about 20 minutes or so. I'll probably spend a couple hours on promotional stuff. Like I'm working on a sequence for Black Friday right now, so I don't have to do anything over Thanksgiving. Right, it's already going to be automated. And so that could also be content creation too at that time. So if you think about your day that way, if you think about, okay, what if every day we got up and did something for marketing that could bring in a customer today, right? And then what if we spent the next part of our day serving the people who are already paying us, so they'll keep paying us? And then the rest of my time would be spent on content creation or batching at that point, right? That's pretty much how we've lived our business for 7 years. I mean, we've always done it that way. I actually have I draw a picture. I draw a $, I draw a smiley face, and then I draw a little megaphone. Okay. And so that's, how everybody's like, what are my 3 things I'm going to do today? Right. Like I always start my day with those little icons on a blank sheet of paper, because it reminds me, like, your business can't grow unless you get new customers. Your business can't be stable unless you keep the customers you have. And nobody will know about you if you're not amplifying your message by creating content and getting out in the marketplace, right? So those are the 3 things that we do every single day. And I think if you just look at it, you'll find your day is actually kind of flowing that way sometimes. Right. It's just making that commitment to doing it, and it doesn't take that long, man. I mean, let me give you another way to look at it too, for you, because you're right at the beginning. How do I get new customers from the people who already know about me is always first. Right. Second, not because it's less important, but because it's less time consuming and it's easier, is how do I engage with and serve the group of people who are already on the boat, right? Like I can serve them quickly. And then the content creation part, that megaphone, is actually how do I get more leads? How do I get emails? That's what I focus on at the end of the day. Is like, okay, I write a blog post, I start a Facebook ad, I batch a bunch of content, I create something new, whatever it is. How do I get more leads at that point? But that should, man, if you guys both had a strategy, like if he was crushing that flow in the offline, and he focused on that, and you focused on the online world, then you all of a sudden now got animal of a thing. You got a growing list, you got new customers, and you're keeping people longer. And that's what it's all about with memberships, man. Those three things.
Okay.
So what of that sounds heavy? What sounds light? And like let's say you were going to take some action steps in the next 24 hours. What do you think you'd take action on?
I mean, probably the biggest thing would be, like you talked about, come up with a type of promotional strategy and come up with a type of regular emailing that they can get used to and they can get excited about and stay interested in. So maybe it's highlighting a community member who's having some great results, or highlighting an in-person individual who's having some great results. Maybe make that a weekly thing, just bragging on somebody. And maybe making a weekly email out of just the weekly content that we've already created, just pulling it all together. And hey, here's the cool stuff that we've made this week. Just wanted to give this out to you, and make that its own email. And then kind of tying into whatever the promotional thing is for that week, and putting those in those emails plus whatever other emails we're actually making.
Yep.
And then trying to tie. Go ahead.
I'm going to challenge you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to challenge you. And you can post this in the forums. Okay. All right. So meet with your brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I think there's so much overlap here, y'all. But I would have that clear line, like you're responsible for getting people in the door. I'm responsible for getting people to the website, basically, right? But try to come up with, like right now, we're coming up on the new year. Okay. Don't put so much pressure on yourself right now at the end of the holidays and things like that. We know New Year's is going to be good because that's what fitness is all about, right? But like, try to come up with a calendar where you all have 2 per month. So you only got to come up with 24 promotions next year. Anchor them to the most cliche sales things, man. Like New Year's, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, April Fool's Day, whatever. Like the things that 4th of July, like the anchor holidays. Seasonal stuff works great. First day of summer, first day of spring, first day of fall. You guys should treat every season like New Year, right? And come up with a way to promote as much as you would at New Year. But come up with 24 things, 2 a month, in your space, in your niche that makes sense locally and online. And then leave yourself some breathing room going into the New Year. Now you can work on those. And then in between, it gives you guys some flexibility, like to have an idea for a promotion. Like, oh man, we don't have a promotion the 3rd week of May, dude. You want to do a 5K? It's outside. Everybody can wear masks, whatever. Like, it's something we could do. Maybe we'll get a bunch of members that way or something. But that way you don't have to come up with 52, like, right out of the gate. But you'll have a nice promotional calendar ready to go. And you'll be like, yeah, we're going to get new members every 2 weeks. It's going to happen. And watch this thing explode, man. It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
So my challenge is for you to post your list. I want a picture of you and your brother eating a healthy pizza, and and I want you to write down 1 to 24 and just be like, this is our commitment. We're doing this. Put it in the action plan for them, and then you can kind of keep us up on your journey as we can talk about them each month. Sound good, man?
Sounds great.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, hey, I know it can be nerve-wracking. Our podcast is hilarious because a lot of people aren't podcasters. Like most podcasts are interviewing podcasters, and ours is just like, you want to come talk? And you're like, okay, I guess, sort of, yeah. And but man, I really am always so grateful and thankful for people like you, Andrew, who come out here and just lay it all to bear. And because there's a lot of people listening to this that it's going to help them. And I just really appreciate you for talking to me today and helping me serve the Flip Lifestyle audience.
You got it, man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right, guys, that wraps up my conversation with Andrew. Man, what an awesome guy to be able to take the adversity of the pandemic and to be able to regroup and use online business to supplement their income, to save their business. Basically, it's just an amazing thing to watch. And now they've got this awesome situation where they're going to have an offline component, an online component, something they can scale, they can make bigger no matter what the conditions are out there in the world. I'm just super excited to be a part of Andrew's journey. I would love to be a part of your journey too over in the Flipped Lifestyle community. That's where we help real people just like Andrew and his brother take their online dream to the next level, to start, build, and grow an online business, to go out and create a membership site where you can find 100 people to pay you $50 a month, to make $60,000 a year, or maybe 200 to get you $120,000 a year, and not have to rely on your local economic conditions, not have to rely on going to work every day to that 9 to 5. You can create your own income. You can reach out and serve and sell to people all over the world. It's 100% possible. We've been doing this now for 8 years ourselves, and we have helped hundreds of people in the Flipped Lifestyle community do the same. We would love to help you and your family too. So if you've been listening to the Flipped Lifestyle podcast for a while, or this is the first episode you've ever heard, go over to flippedlifestyle.com/free and start a 30-day free trial in the Flipped Lifestyle community today. You're going to find all the courses that you need to start, build, and grow a membership site of your own. You're going to find hundreds of like-minded people, family-focused entrepreneurs from around the world who are chasing their dream just like you, to connect with, to work with, to mastermind with, who want to help you succeed as well. And you're going to find me, Jocelyn, and our team there to serve you and help you take your next steps in online business. That's flippedlifestyle.com/free. FLIPPED lifestyle.com/free. You can start your free membership today. We're going to get you in there. We're going to get you taking courses. We're going to add you to our Facebook group where we hang out with our community on a daily basis. That's flippedlifestyle.com/free to start today. All right, guys, what a great chat that I had today with Andrew Biernatt. Man, it was awesome talking to him about a little offline and online marketing today. And I'm super excited because Andrew has another thing he would like to share with you. You know, we read a Bible verse at the end of all of our Flipped Lifestyle podcasts because Jocelyn and I get a lot of our inspiration and motivation in life and business and parenting and marriage and everything we do from the Bible. And I'm really pumped because Andrew has got an awesome verse that he wanted to share with you guys today because it's important to him. So Andrew, take it away.
Thank you, Shane. This is Romans chapter 6, verse 23. This is the English Standard Version. For the wages of sin is death, but the free gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus our Lord. And what really makes this one resonate with me is actually the word wages. And to me, that just implies earnings. I've earned so much through my sin and through the things that I've done wrong in my life. And it's so easy to think that I can earn my way out. I can fix it. I can do it. I'm a self-made man. I can do it on my own. And I've had plenty of opportunities to learn that it's not me. It's not me that gets to carry the burden. I've had plenty of burdens that go beyond me that I can't handle on my own. And it really is that gift of eternal life through Jesus Christ that has brought me to where I am. It has been that sacrifice that has atoned for my sins. And so that is something that's a great reminder for me that I am super, super grateful for.
Amen, Reverend. Amen. Like it. Love it, dude. All right, guys, that is all the time that we have for this week. Thank you so much for listening to the Flipped Lifestyle podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you download a few past episodes to carry you through your day. And until next time, get out there, take action, and do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then.
Bye.
One more thing before we go. Thank you so much for listening to the Flipped Lifestyle podcast. If you love the Flipped Lifestyle podcast, if we bring a little joy and a little happiness and we bring some knowledge into your life every single week, could you do us a favor? Go to Apple Podcast and hit subscribe. Download a few of the podcast episodes onto your phone. Apple's algorithm loves seeing downloads and it loves seeing those subscribes. And please leave us an honest review over on Apple Podcast. That'll help us grow the show, expand the mission, and reach more people so that we can help them change their family's future as well. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.